much. Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. It's always an honor to just be in the presence of men and women who have signed the ultimate check over to me and the rest of us, that they're willing to lay their lives down so that I can get on the air every day for 3 hours and you know, I couldn't do it if there hadn't been freedom fighters from the very beginning of this country, this great country that we live in. But we're on the verge of, well, one of two things is going to happen in November of this year. We're either going to begin a headlong descent into tyranny, or we're going to resurrect this country through an electoral process. It's pretty amazing that the Constitution and the Founding Fathers predicted that these moments would come. And they gave us methods to extract ourselves from disasters and to resurrect the greatness of this nation. And we do it peacefully at a ballot box. But I gotta tell you, this is the first time in my life where if it doesn't work at the ballot box, the ammo's dry. Because this is a really, really important time in history. The level of deceit that's going on in that cesspool we call the nation's capital has to be, we had to drain the swamp. And that means we got to take out all of the alligators and all of the lizards and all of the other creatures who are living up there in our nation's capital right now, investing more and more of my power and my money into their hands and then misusing it. When General Stanley McChrystal is humiliated by the President of the United States, and just hear what I'm saying, he made a mistake, and what he did required action on the part of a president. But I'm tired of leaders who do what's expected and don't do what's right. I know that if Lieutenant Colonel Alan West had been in the position today that President Obama found himself in, he would have asked the general two questions. The first question would have been, do you think that the differences between us are irreparable? And if the general said, no, sir, I think I could work with you, he would have said, then what is your strategy? And today he would have stood up and said, we're going to win this war in Afghanistan. Not, I'm going to demote the guy above him to his position, and I'm going to fire him in front of the American people and humiliate the United States military yet again. In less than 2 years, he's humiliated the military a number of times. It's time to send warriors to Washington to fight back. No more lawyers. I mean, I have a son who's a lawyer. I gave birth to a lawyer, so I have some guilt and shame. But I think it's time to send men and women to Washington who have fought for this country. And before we send another battalion out to fight in any war, I want to know that there are men and women sitting in Congress who understand where they're going and what they have to do. And all they have to do is win. Afghanistan turned into the longest war. They don't get me on the soapbox. I'm very frustrated today. Alan West represents the best of America. Period. End of story. I know that it was a big moment when everybody said we had finally come to that moment in history where we were all colorblind and everything was going to be great and we would just be happy as clams. Well, guess what? Not everybody is suitable to be the president or a congressman or a senator. It doesn't matter what their skin color is. It matters what their character is. Alan West has more character in his pinky than all the rest of the ones that are sitting up there in Congress today. And I say that knowing many of them personally. So we have an opportunity to send somebody to Congress who's not only going to be a great congressman, he's going to be a leader of Congress. And if you're at all familiar with Scripture, God made sure that Gideon ended up with only 300, and it was enough. So if Alan goes up there, all he needs is 299 congressmen to follow him, and we'll be all right. Thank you.